This is one of the most important videos of 2019 that I've done so far. We're going to talk about soulmate portals, twin flames, twin soul portals, and we have to get proper definition because a lot of people think a soulmate is going to mean love. Soulmate is just anybody in your soul family. Just like if you was on a ship with people, shipmates. All right, and again, your twin flame may not have come in your life for love. That's why if they came in your life for love, you best believe y'all two will be connected. But they may have come in your life for different reasons. And we're gonna talk about a little bit of that too. So I had to get that out there first. I had to get that out there first. All right, now, if you've been listening, I've been trying to show you that things that you think are not connected is connected. In fact, I say it's all connected. And I say we're all one. And that's what they tried to show you in the Matrix. When the character went up, Keanu Reeves' character went upstairs or whatever, and got into it looked like a computer room, and that guy in all white was up in there, and he was trying to show how everything was interconnected, the whole universe interconnected. And what I try to tell people, the more you rise above the low frequencies and all we're in just the lower frequencies and really the silly stuff, the better chances you have of connecting to these dimensions and portals and that. That's why some people be having like UFO experiences that look up in the sky and lights is following them or some strange shit, and some people don't. And some people say, well, I don't want that experience. And you don't have to get it if you don't want it. But my point is, the more your frequency comes up in this matrix, because like even Matrix, Mystery, just say the words, they almost sound alike. Everything is for a reason. But you don't have to stay on a low vibration. That's totally up to you. Now, I came down tonight. Well, I came downstairs about 6:30 p.m. A little more, 45 minutes ago or so. And for whatever reason, I was just in a great mood. So I started more or less opening up the blinds. The kitchen blinds I didn't want to mess with because it was kind of warm today, and keeping those blinds down keeps it cooler. So that was the main reason why I didn't feel with it. But you know what's funny? Every time I don't, like whenever I don't, when the blinds are closed and I just walk outside blindly without checking, that ugly black gorilla is always out there. Almost every time. Never miss. Almost every time I go out there, unlike when I ain't look, because sometimes I check. Almost every time I go out there, he's always out there. But now I'm going to start showing you the connections, how all this shit is one. And I'm going to tell you about the portals. Because some of these areas in my neighborhood I've been told y'all was portals years ago. But that's where all these people always be at. These same people we talking about. They always be in those little areas. So that's why I keep trying to tell y'all this is bigger than what y'all see. Or what the average person sees. This is way bigger. And I'm going to tell y'all again, this is all about energy. Energy transmissions and reception. So once I think I don't remember which one I did first, but I definitely opened up all the blinds. I had everything wide open because I haven't seen my soulmate. I haven't seen her, and I figured even if the big guy came back, I don't care. I was in that type of mood. I could care less. Just don't stand in front of the window. Hopefully, me and you don't have to get into it. So I wasn't worried about him. Wasn't worried about nothing. I was just in a great mood. So then I walked outside on the deck, and the sun was right there. Now the sun was northwestern in the middle of the sky. Like it could go further north, and it will to set. But at that time, it was almost a little past the middle of the sky. Because where I stand on my deck, I'm really at the middle. And I'm going to tell you again that everything is for a reason. Just like when I be showing you all them space charts, the black ones, it's from the viewpoint of somebody in the middle. That's almost exactly where I'm at. So that's not a coincidence. And something you have to know too is When I was a part of this religion I was in the 1980s, that's something they used to say. They said everything on this planet has been put there by God. Whether you believe in it, that God is in control of everything on the planet. And Messiah said in the Bible, don't nothing fall to the ground that God don't know about. Now, to phantom that, it's unfathomable. But the more you wake up and realize that, the better off you'll be as far as your emotional stability and how you deal with this planet. Because the reason why people tripping and going crazy, because they are allowing the planet or the things on the planet to be their God. And that's why the apostle told you, don't love the world or the things in it. Because all them things is passing away. And Messiah told you the same thing. But again, people don't listen to that. None of this is preaching. Everything I'm saying is common sense for people that are woke. So now, like I said, where the corner sign is across the street, the name of those streets, because it's an intersection, they're both ancient gods. One is an Egyptian god, and one is a Nordic god. And this is the type of shit that Hitler was into. And that's one of the areas where people are always popping up. And like I told you, it's not going to stop. I told you all about there's a white girl in this neighborhood, and I never saw her before. I used to cruise my car a lot. If I had a car, I would cruise it. But lately, I don't cruise too much no more. I don't really cruise. But one particular night, I was just out there riding around, and for whatever reason, it was raining. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, okay, good. I ain't got to worry about shit. Because I'm getting home, it's dark, and ain't nobody, it's raining. I ain't got shit to worry about. No dumb shit. Sure enough. Now listen, y'all. As I'm pulling up where I park my car, it's some white girl with some golden hair, or whatever you call that, bleach blonde, whatever the fuck you want to call it, standing right where I normally park my car. So what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? And so then, why is she out here in the rain? But she also lives up the street on the other side and on the corner of where my soulmate live. So I still didn't feel like going home yet. I still was kind of like driving around. So I was trying to drive around in the neighborhood, and she was still out there walking. But she's on her phone, but it's raining. But she's still out there. That was some weird shit. Because I don't see shit like that. All this shit is soulmate stuff. All this stuff is connections. And it's a good chance these people you keep seeing, you know them from past whatever. So that same white girl, I came downstairs one night to go into the kitchen. And again, the blind was open because I was upstairs. So I wasn't worried about nothing going on downstairs. I come in the kitchen, and that same white girl sitting across the street. And she got on like some Indian outfit. But again, I keep trying to tell you, because we the real Native Americans, if you really know your history. So she had on like an Indian outfit. And then, but you could see, now this is what I'm trying to tell you about David and Bathsheba. From where David was, if David was high up on a palace, how would he see some naked woman? But that's how he saw Bathsheba. So that's what I mean about that supernatural shit. Because even with that white girl had on, it was kind of seductive. But she was across the street. So I shouldn't have been able to see it that clear. But I could. So I just went ahead, closed the blinds or whatever. So she was all out there. But the funny thing is, these people's purpose is to keep this shit in your consciousness. Because I'm trying to tell you, this is how they run their energy. Who's ever running this whole thing, all this shit is about energy. Let me tell y'all something else. Y'all notice how many antennas is all over the place? Why we got so many antennas on planet Earth? And it always been that way. You could go back 30, 40 years, still had all these antennas. Because I know now they say, well, we got more modern technology. No. They ain't got shit to do with no modern technology. Because they've always flooded this planet with all these different antennas. Why? Now, if you go to Bible Believers, if you type in your YouTube channel, type in Husky Bible Believers, it might even come up. But he tells you about all these antennas, and he tells you about the churches. A lot of these churches got these antennas in it. And he also tells you what happens when you go to a church. The first thing they're going to ask you for is your name and get all your information and shit. But that information ain't just going to stay in the church. See, that's why I keep trying to tell you, when you understand what you're dealing with, Freemasonry and all that bullshit, you gonna know what's up. So anyway, when I went outside, I'm feeling good. So I just look at the sun, but the sun is really behind all these trees, and it's kind of like probably maybe even behind a cloud, because sometime this time of day or sometime the clouds start coming out. Because like if you're out there, depending on what day it is, what's going on, if you're out there, you can see shit if you're looking. Like if you look to the west on certain days, as when it's supposed to be sunset, the sunset in the west. But if you look to the east, you can see sun rising. Sun rising ain't supposed to rise except in the morning time. So them clouds come and cover all that shit up. So, but I know for a fact, for me, and that's that we got a white sun. Because we got different suns as well. You got a white sun, but you got other suns up there too. So the white sun, I usually just stare at. And if I stare at the white sun long enough, it'll let me see. Like into the white ball that's in there. That's in the middle of wall at. So even though that sun was distant, I was still trying to look at that sun. To look at the white sun. And it did show itself. So then I came on back in the house. And again, I'm minding my business downstairs, the blinds open and whatever. And then, just like the old days, when I walked into the living room, there was my soulmate and her brother walking northbound. But now where they're walking at northbound, let me explain a couple of things. There's a side street. Now, when I used to work with my twin flame, she used to do the same thing. Where I worked at, there was a little, what I call like an alleyway. But it was a professional business complex. But it was a little alleyway. And she used to always be in that alleyway. But in that alleyway, this is a portal. There were 2 banisters for a step that went down. Now, this sounds like what Thomas More sent me, the King's Chamber. If you know anything about the pyramids in Egypt, the King's Chamber, and they go down. So out there was like kind of like a garden, and it was 2 rails or 2 banisters, whatever you want to call it. But she would always be in that area. See, all that stuff is High Priestess. So if I took the High Priestess card, because the High Priestess sits between those 2 pillars, and that's where she used to be, always in that little area. So all this shit, you're seeing it from a 3rd dimensional perspective. But if you notice, when animals look at you, they see something else. An animal might look at you and may like you from day one, depending on who you are. An animal might look at you and don't like you. Because an animal can see shit that other people can't see. Just like if you've ever had a dog and a spirit is in the midst, and that dog start acting funny and weird and looking up and barking and shit because he can see the spirit. You can't. So that's what I'm talking about, these portals. And I told you, all this shit is energy. So she used to always be on that street, the soulmate. And that street is a portal. And like in a lot of these areas that I'm talking about, there's been murders and everything. Because murders are always associated with this twin flame soulmate shit. So, by that window, and that's where she used to stand all the time like before. You know. Because that window's in the kitchen. Like I said, anybody trying to get my attention for whatever reason, it's always at that window. Because most of the time my blinds is closed. Most of the time. So, now where she was walking, see, that's where that house burned down. But the people that own that house are the same ethnic background as she is. Now, again, those are all that area over there is all portals. Like even when that house burned down, we never found out what caused that fire. But it was always weird shit going on over there, even after the fire. So even when she used to be out there, she used to walk up there too. Because she used to be on her phone. So first she would be on that side street walking, and then sometimes she would walk that way. Now what's ironic, when she used to walk that way, she didn't know at that time that the people that would take that house and rebuild it was the same ethnic background as her. This is what I'm talking about, energy and portals. And also, her people did the same thing. Her family rebuilt that house over there. And when they rebuild them houses, you know, that's how you can tell they really are like connected to the Mayans and shit, because they built their ass off. Like, them houses look like unbelievable. Unbelievable architect. So all this is energy. And now there's a female that lives in that house. That same street she was just walking up, there's another female that lives in that house. And she be out there a lot too. It's like a little street, it's a little strip. It's really a curb, but really it's like, I would call it a strip for the purpose of what I'm trying to tell y'all. Now, right in that area, when it was a bad snowstorm, that's when I had to park my car over in that area, because you couldn't park on where I was. And then that's when a lady who I've known my whole life, that's when she was out there. She said, let me talk to you for a minute. So she took me right in this area I'm talking about, where the soulmate be walking and where that other female be, always in that area. She took me into that area because you got the house to burn down that they rebuilt, and you got a space in between it, and then you got the house of the lady that called me over there. So when she took me over there, she was mad because people had been walking around in that little space. But here's the deal. You know how when it's snowing, you can follow the footprints. Those footprints appeared, walked around, and disappeared. There was no out or no in. So she didn't know that. She was just mad because she thought somebody was trespassing or whatever, walking on her property. But me, as soon as I looked at that shit, I said, well, how did they get here? It ain't no. And I never said nothing to her because I knew, they're going to think you crazy. But I knew. So all this shit going on is more about energy than anything else. And I know that for a fact. And like I said, you have people that don't think, and you can't show them because they're not going to get it. And you have people that are always taking in information, but they really don't know anything. And what good is that if all you're going to do is keep on getting information, but you ain't doing nothing with it? Just like it was two twin flames that finally got back together, and one of the main things they did, they went to a picture of Buddha. And that's on my other channel. There was a reason for that. It's not like they just went, oh, they may think that's what it was, but it wasn't. Because you could have went anywhere in the world. Why go to a picture and make sure y'all take a picture with Buddha? All this shit's about energy. Past lives and energy and shit. And that's why your twin or your soulmate will try to connect to you through dreams or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's still energy. Because if they just keep, let's just say you say, man, I'm sick of this shit. I'm not going to have nothing to do with it. I'm closing all my blinds and fucking that. Like I said, I ain't seen that chick. So that's why I was comfortable. Had everything wide open and shit. Chilling. And then all of a sudden, there she was. Just like the old days. Because if I would be in the kitchen, she'd be around that window. If I'd be going through the living room, and if the blind was cracked just a little bit, it was a little bit enough to see her. And like I told y'all, one day I was in the kitchen with the microwave, and I knew around what time she came, and I ain't see her. And then the microwave was counting down, because it counts down to 0 when you're cooking something. And that shit counted down from whatever I said. Let's just say I said it for 40 seconds. It counted all the way down. It got to 26, 27, 23. As soon as it hit 22, she walked by. Now 22 is a twin flame number. So I don't make this shit up. So what I'm trying to tell people is this. Now, all this can go all different kind of ways. But for most people, like even the dude I'm talking about, him and his twin, they get back together, they break up. Now, hopefully they'll stay together this time, but if you go by the odds of them staying together without another breakup is slim, because they always break up. But now people are a little bit older, maybe they're a little bit more mature, and maybe they won't. But the bottom line is, especially on this planet, what you have, like I told y'all, it's a whole lot of females that'll fuck another nigga, even if they with somebody. Because in their mind, well, it's just sex. And how do I know he's not fucking on me? It's just sex. Like, I don't even really like this guy. I just want to have sex. As long as my guy don't find out. That's a fact. Now, people don't like, see, this is the reason why I'm hated. Because I don't come out with this silly shit. I tell her like it is. And that ain't going to stop. You know, the only thing going to stop when I'm dead. I don't give a fuck. You understand? That's how it really is. So what happens is when people don't understand this, like they think something's different between a twin flame or a soulmate or just another. It's not. It's still human. It's powerful. I always said that. It's very powerful. And that's why these people out here on YouTube is losing their damn mind. Because it's so, they think just because it's powerful, that makes it real. But it's not. Because if it was real, you would be with your twin. And it wouldn't be no confusion as to whether it's your twin or a fake twin or a soulmate. You would know. So I'm going to say it again. All this stuff is about energy. Energy being harvested on these feelings and emotions and all that stuff. And that's why the dude got to be out there. Like I said, if y'all know how many times I go to the blinds, look, don't see that ugly nigga. But let me just go to be in a rush and I didn't get the chance to put the blind up or something. And I'm just running outside to throw something in the garbage. Nigga be right there. Every fucking time. Standing right there with that ugly ass dog. And his dog looks exactly like my soulmate's dogs. They all look the same to dog. Even that shit. There's a reason for that. The dogs look like fucking alike. She's got 2 dogs that are twin. Them 2 dogs look alike. So anyway, my point I'm trying to make is when you opt in to play this scenario, but then you might get a little bit of sex. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not going to be what you think. You think it might be a great love story and y'all going to be together and work through all your differences. No, you're not. It's going to be like any other situation. Like if you like a female and she already got kids, that's going to be pressure because you're going to have to get used to that and all that shit. And you're going to have to try to make yourself be likable. Otherwise, it's going to be a major crazy problem because she's not choosing her kids over your ass, no matter how much she cares for you. And even if she did, that's fucked up because them kids need their mother. So what I'm trying to tell you, just because it feels so great, oh, it feels so great, I dream about her, oh, all this numerology, and I see her name all over the place. So you think this is going to be some great phenomenal. At the end of the day, it's still a relationship. Y'all still going to have hurdles to get over just like any other relationship. And that's why I say, when you study this planet, people are so unhappy, but they act like they're happy. That's why people get high. If you was happy, you wouldn't need to get high because you'd be feeling high already. You understand? So it's like everything's a fantasy. Everything. Like his story is fake. Most of their belief systems is fake. But this is shit they do to be able to wake up and go, oh, I'm going to go to church today. I'm going to have a great day, a great sermon. And you just ask him. Oh, it was a beautiful sermon. It was beautiful. Oh, the music was beautiful. It was a great sermon. What did he preach about? Dead silence. Motherfucker don't know what the fuck he preached about. Y'all know I'm not lying. This is some fake ass shit. You know what I'm saying? I bet if a motherfucker go to the club and they like clubbing, I bet you they can tell you what the songs was. Oh, my favorite song came on. Then it's okay. I was doing this day. I spent around. Tell you all that shit though. Because that's where their heart really is. Wherever your heart is, that's what's going to come out your fucking mouth. So I've been on this planet for decades studying all this shit. But I say, but the finding don't matter. Because you're on a planet where motherfuckers don't give a fuck about the findings and the evidence. They're going to do what the fuck they want to. And then just going to say it's right. And that's what a fucking matrix is. So, here's the deal. So, let's take it back to reality. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Me and my twin took each other through hell. And I didn't know. I mean, I finally had given up on her because every time I reached out to her, she was an asshole. But then when I pulled away from her, she gonna come following me. That's called running and chasing. That's in twin flames. So I finally tried one last time because I felt like she needed to know what I knew about who we were and all that. So I wrote my shit up. Y'all know how I do. Told her, gave it to her, and I walked away. And I was through, like I was hurt, but I was through with her. And then, like she came back, And when she came back, she looked like she used to look. You know, because she had this innocent, like, look. She would get on her face and shit. But that's that past life shit. And then I rejected it again. Because, like, nah, you're not going to hurt me again and shit. I rejected it again and shit. So we took each other through hell. But this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Even if none of that happened, even if when she came into my life, I wasn't in so much pain, I would have been ready. It still would have went into separation. See, most people don't understand this shit. And y'all make it out to be something that is usually not. And I'm going to say it again. If it really is that great, y'all should have just as many videos on YouTube about, oh, I got with my twin. Me and my twin worked it out. Oh, we're together. Oh, we're having a great relationship. Or you would hear something like this. I'm with my twin. It's a little bit difficult, but we made a commitment to each other to work it out. You don't hear that. You don't hear nothing. All you hear is a bunch of people keep coming out with videos about divine masculine, divine feminine, Venus in the 7th house, blah, 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 and they still ain't together. But people are just spending their resources to hear a bunch of bullshit. Same way when you go to church and you taking your money out of your hard-earned pocket and giving it to some fucking pimp. You in a motherfucking matrix, nigga. Why you think they call this shit tricks? Now, who's the trickster? Do y'all even know who the trickster is? Well, let me give y'all a heads up. Right now, y'all can go to Louis J. Armstrong, and he's telling you about Thoth. Look into Thoth. Find out who Thoth is. Find out who Thoth is. So, the point I'm trying to make is, you have to be careful, because everything happens for a reason. And it's energy. The reason is energy. That's the reason. Because ain't nothing just happening to be happening. And that's why she and I could never get it together. 2 years of being together, we could never get it together. And we was never on the same page. And then it turned ugly when she played the victim card, basically. Which made me look like the idiot. When really, the person that was initiating the whole thing was her. But this shit happened all the time. That's another problem here. That's that double standard and shit. But what I'm trying to tell people is you have to be aware of that. Because when you're in that situation, this is how you thought. When you start to really grow up and get out of that fantasy land, when you start to grow up, you start to see life from, what do I got to lose? So when you got more to lose in a situation, you got to think differently. You got to move differently. That's just a fact. And see, that's the sad part about life. Because when in the early days, you got all this energy and you got all this belief system. But when you have that belief system, you may open up and get hurt. So now once you get hurt, now you're looking at life from a more mature thing. And life might not be as fireworks and everything. But hopefully with the maturity, you become more stable. Because what I'm trying to tell y'all, even with the soulmate that's in the neighborhood, you know, like I said, that could be another Rosa. That could be another Rosa part 2. That's my twin's name. Where I basically get accused of shit that I'm not. And I know how Pac feel to be accused of some shit that ain't even you. Like that's totally what you totally against shit like that. But she's lying through her fucking teeth. But the way this world is, they don't give a fuck. It's people who still come for you even if they know she's lying. Look at all these motherfuckers that went to jail over somebody talking about some shit that happened 30 years ago. Okay? Like, I'm sorry if that happened 30 years ago, but you had 30 years to deal with that shit. How the fuck we supposed to know if that's real or not? So this is the shit that you got to be familiar with. Because I'm trying to tell y'all again, for anybody that do listen to this, whatever I be talking about, in most cases, my shit is thorough. But that's because I've been here long and I've been fighting since I've been here. And I know how to do certain shit. And I do thank God for being there too. But God is going to send you into that fire. So you are going to learn how to fight, whether you like it or not. But in learning how to fight, you learn how to set perimeters. Let motherfuckers know from the door. But then you don't have them silly ass problems. Because like I said, here's the deal. Whatever's going on with that, the whole soulmate thing, I don't really see nothing coming good out of that. Whatever there was a golden era with her. You know what I said? I got nothing but the best, whatever. But even my twin, I got nothing but love for my twin. But this, more than that whole twin flame thing is very, very difficult. Because the secret to that is this. It takes a little maturity on both sides. Like I said, as powerful as the twin flames relationship is, it's the same thing as any other relationship. If you got any form of selfishness, it ain't going to work. It's only when people become mature enough to say, we need to talk. Or when somebody looks back and says, wow, that guy really reached out to me and I treated him like shit. But that takes a level of maturity. And then he got to be mature enough to say, you know what? Fuck that stupid shit. Let's talk. That's the first start. And that don't mean they're going to get together. That just means maybe they can finally stop the dumb shit. And then other people who are your soulmates or whatever's going on with that, you got to look at that realistically too. Because if you can't have a communication with that person or whatever, or if there's a chance that could get turned a different way, don't fuck with it. Because you got more to lose. And that's the first question people going to ask. Well, what, like I said, you may, like with my twin, let me give you a perfect example. Like, we always ended up with each other. Even when wasn't nobody, like if I went, like we worked in a big ass industrial complex. So I might go way over to the other side of the building. And she still would be over there. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is the first thing somebody gonna say is, well, what was you doing back here anyway? Oh, I just used the bathroom back here. Yeah, well, there's bathrooms up here. Why ain't you use one of them bathrooms? So in their mind, you must have came back there for a reason. You ain't know she back there. That's that twin flame shit. Like I said another time when I keep telling you, shit always popping off. It was one dude. It was one bathroom I found I used to go to. So then it was this one dude who was trying to follow me around all the time. He was another dude. It's always been going to be them type of dudes. Because they're going to lie. They're going to start trouble. If they find out any information, they're going to blow it up. I've seen this shit in my whole life too. Or if you got something on your desk, they going to move it. You know what I'm saying? Just like this ugly black dude. That's what he do. Nobody ever answered why he always in front of my house. It's 400 fucking houses in this fucking neighborhood. Out of all the houses he always want to hang out and stand around, why is it this one? So these people are sent to do exactly what they do. But again, when motherfuckers know what's up, you got to lay your boundaries. Now, this other guy will be following me. So this is what he did. Pretty much. Following me. Now, I know for a fact this guy was robbing shit. Because he worked at a store, he was robbing that store. So this dude was a straight up crook. So now he's following me. I'm just going to the bathroom and coming back. But he see where I go. So then when he come back there, he's seeing doors open and shit. So he started taking shit probably. Now I ain't seen him do it, but I just know the reputation of this dude. So now this is what happens. So now when I go to the bathroom, and I hate white supremacy. I hate all that stupid shit. Now I'm just going to the bathroom. That's all I've ever done. You know what I'm saying? Now I got white people following me in the bathroom. Like, okay, I hate white supremacy. And now I'm followed in the bathroom. And so then the white guy's asking me, well, who are you and where do you work at? All right, so now I'm getting some stupid ass questions. I've been working in this company for well over 2 years, and I worked here in 2001. So I have a 13-year relationship with this country. Why are you asking me this stupid ass question? But I already know why he's asking the stupid ass question, because there was other people coming in that bathroom. That one guy stealing shit, so then they're gonna try to put that on me. And then you had other people coming in that bathroom just trifling on that nigga shit, not flushing the toilet, just stupid nigga shit. So you gonna get pulled into this bullshit no matter what. So what I'm trying to tell people, if there are any thinking people listening, you gotta know all this shit, cause you be getting set the fuck up. Cause you always gonna, just the way shit is. If you're melanated, you're guilty. If you're a male, guilty. It is no fucking chivalry in cases like that. And then for people that don't understand the full picture, let's just say you say bye, oh fuck all that. I'm just gonna give me some pussy. Alright, good. But then if there is a such thing as truth, and that fornicators will not inherit the kingdom of God, then you're gonna fuck up everything. You're gonna fuck up your next life on some stupid shit on this planet. That's why I be trying to tell niggas, everything has a cause, everything has a purpose. But the moment you let somebody else dictate what you believe or what you think, you're a fucking groupie and you're stupid. Because what you believe in might not even be true. That's why I say, astrologically speaking, the sun is my ruler. I'm a lion. I'm a Leo. Not only do you see the sun ruling the entire day, all fucking day, at nighttime you see the Leo constellation out there. So those are the energies I tap into. So whether I sound stupid to people on this low level planet or not, I could give a fuck less. Because I'm not just limited to this stupid ass planet. Because this is the planet where you're being constantly told, if you do this, you won't inherit the kingdom. If you do that, you won't inherit the kingdom. If you get a divorce, you won't inherit the kingdom. If you commit fornication or adultery, you won't inherit the kingdom. So, whether you're listening or not, you're being told it's a wrap for you. Then you got Matthew chapter 7 that brings it all home. All these people think they're going to be with me on that day. I don't even know him. And he also said, if you're disobeying me and whatever you get for disobeying me, you better enjoy it, because that's all you ever going to have after that. So you're being told the final day, the final page of the book, you're being told that if you're in violation, it's all over. And that's why I'm going to say this again. Now, if you go back to the 1980s, all the shit that's going on now, we just called it temptation. All right? Because all this shit that's going on now, it's happened before. Women popping up out of nowhere, you be way out of town, and the one female you be thinking about be right next to you and shit. Like, how the fuck is that possible? So this is nothing new. And I keep saying, I've been saying that for years. But like I said, people don't know how to take in information because they think it's TV. So they hear it and then walk off, just like the book of James says. Like somebody looking in the mirror, but the moment they walk away from it, they forget what they just saw. But this is not a joke. And you can tell it's not a joke, because why is somebody going out of their way to keep all this shit in my consciousness? That's how you know it's a setup. And that's why I said about the stupid person that takes in a lot of information but don't apply it. What good is it? But that's that, like I said, some people just want to be community. They just want to talk. That's the problem with just community, because everybody's talking. Now, if you go back to tribal was you had people appointed to do what they did. And allegedly they would be appointed, directed by God to lead the tribe. But in that case, if they were telling the tribe the truth, you didn't have all the shit you got now. But the only problem is if they wasn't telling the tribe the truth, then you still gonna get fucked. But now it's a free fall. Anybody, an idiot could come out here talking crazy, and they could have more views, more support than somebody that's been breaking it down. That's why when I seen that silly shit, I said, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like you know like a devastation's about to hit, and you try to warn motherfuckers, but they stupid. They stupid. They want to die and shit or whatever. And I'm like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I keep it 100 with y'all. I'm sad. I hope I'm wrong. But I'm looking at my life, my nigga, over 40 years, and motherfuckers is dead for not listening. This is not no fucking game. What these motherfuckers know but nothing. You understand? Low level dumb shit. That's what they know. If you know shit about the stars, the universe, the solar system, all that shit, that's the shit Joseph knew. That's the shit Daniel knew. These are men that walk with God. This is the stuff they knew. That's who I'm going to listen to. Not those dumbass motherfucker out here on some dumbass shit. Nigga, this is your life. Fuck a bitch if that bitch ain't going to help me. No type of way. If you ain't helping me get to my eternal purpose of why I'm here, why the fuck am I going to worry about you? That's what happened in the garden with the vanity. And this is why in the book of Ecclesiastic, Solomon is cursing vanity. If you ever read the book of Ecclesiastes, that's all he keeps saying. Vanity, vanity, striving after the wind. It's vanity to do stuff like that. Vanity to do stuff like that. But yet in this planet, that's all it is. It's vanity. You got people that worry more about what they look like externally than they do internally. And that's why having studied all this shit for my whole life, I just hope that I'm wrong. But in my heart and soul, I know I'm not. But hopefully, y'all will have a Nineveh effect, where at the last minute, God changes his mind. But you got to understand, that day is the whole theme of the fucking Bible. That's why if you went to a concordance, just look up words like last day. Last day. Look that word up in the concordance for the Authorized King James Bible, and then look up the word like end. End. And see how many times the end is. Because for a dude like me that studied it, I can tell you that entire Bible is about that last day and that end. And everything does come to an end. Now, I don't know about, they say the soul lives on and you'll just become another in another life or another dimension or whatever they're talking about. And that could be true, I don't know. But from the spiritual aspect or the biblical aspect, you ain't going nowhere but the end. Means it's over. Like, I'm not dealing with this type of dimension no more. I'm not dealing with none of this shit no more. It's the end. And that's the scary part, but that's the part a lot of people don't fear, or people got their own viewpoints. But to me, I don't believe Jack. Like, I'm glad we have that, because we have a freedom to believe. In some countries, you're forced to believe, whether you want to believe it or not, or they put your ass to death or throw you in jail. But in here, thank God, I'm not believing Jack Dilly Squad. I don't have to. If it's some bullshit, I'm not believing it. And like I said, you're dealing with a person that studied everything, studied psychology, studied everything, studied human nature, studied everything. And I've been here long enough to tell it's so easy to get into anti-God activity, and it's so hard to do godly activity. That's why I feel like anybody that's really trying to be obedient to God, off of everything, they should be hailed or respected, because it's very difficult to really do it, and most people claiming to do it ain't doing it. So again, the portals opening. This is the portals. Where these people are walking is portals, and this is again why they're attracted to certain areas, because that's where he's always standing. Where that house burned down, that's where the ugly dude was always standing. Then he stands in the middle, like I told you. That's where the footprints came out of nowhere in the snow and disappeared. He stands there. Then he stands on the corner right across from our window. These are like his main areas he stands. Because like I said, walking the dog is hilarious, because that motherfucker never walked the dog. They just be out there. The dog basically walk itself and shit. The dog be all up in other people's yards pissing and shitting, and this ugly ass nigga just standing there. That's why that's hilariously funny. But if you're listening to what I just got finished saying, that's the reason why. Because it's all about energy. Energy being harvested. And maybe that's how they keep this universe running. I don't know. Because there is no separation on anything. Only in your mind is that division. And that's why when you really understand the metaphysics of it, you don't worry about it. Like I said, now as far as my twin is concerned, what I've been hearing, and I don't know if it's true, and I may dig it, which I've never really dug into finding out shit about her, but I may actually look, because I've been hearing more and more she's gotten to a better place now, and I hope she was, because I can tell you she was really messed up. And that's how I see more of, get to a better place. And don't think somebody else is going to come in your life that's going to save the day for you. Learn how to save your own day. Because that's another major problem. That's why these people are obsessed with this whole twin flame phenomenon. Because they really think something's coming that's going to make their life better. Only person that can make your life better is you. And that's why I said more people need to be getting help and healing than wasting your time and your resources thinking somebody, they're not going to really, you got to get your shit together. So, to conclude, as far as the twin flame thing, well, however that happens will happen. You know, I don't know when I'll see that person again. But see, I work in a public store. So, ironically, you never know. You never know who's coming through them doors. But to me, you know, other than whatever connection we have that I have no control over, because that's like an astral connection or a universal connection, whatever that is. But other than that, like I'm not really going to stress that. Because I'm just an old school dude. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. When something's meant to happen, can't nobody stop it. That's what I was trying to tell you. When y'all getting involved with all this separation and hurting and you're in all this pain, you don't understand the universe. If it was meant to happen, nobody could have stopped it. That's why, like I said, I deal with people all the time. And there's some people, for whatever reason, I'm not going to get to. And I've seen it happen with other people too. Because where I work at, we got to close and everything. It's just not your day. Now, you might talk to that person. I seen one time where this man said no to everybody. He shot me down real quick because I'm a new dude. So they was like, oh, he's not experienced. Send a more experienced guy in. So the more experienced guy talked a whole lot longer and everything, and he shot that dude down. And they sent some other people to talk to this man. He shot them down. And that was it. So he was finally at the final stage before he was gone. And nobody, I know I wasn't. That man shot everybody. He shot down at least 4 people. And the other people were way more trained than me, way better than me. He shot us all down. All right, so he had one last stage to go to. This person is not really trained in that particular whatever, and this and that. So I would have never put my money up. I would have never said that person can close that deal. And for some reason, he finally agreed. So it took 5 people to get that man to say yes. And the person, but it was the only thing I could think of, it was the last stage, and it was a female. Because it was 4 guys, but he shot all of them down. But the female or whatever, he finally, I don't know. I don't know what it was. So what I'm trying to tell y'all is, if it's meant to happen, it's meant to happen. And if it's not meant to happen, it's not going to happen. Now, in looking at the implications of what could happen, because like I said, I got fired from my previous job because my twin lied. All right? So I don't need no bullshit with nobody else. And that's why I said again, this is why doors or whatever, blinds or whatever, stay locked. And then hopefully there'll be no interaction. But I just thought it was funny that, you know, I literally haven't seen her, which seems like weeks. I haven't seen her. Haven't seen her. So I felt comfortable. I'm chilling. It's going to be dark in a little bit. Let me let some let some sunshine in. Plus I feel pretty good. And then there she was. You know, she ain't seen me. She was just walking up the street with her brother and them dogs. And then I looked and then I just closed the blinds back. So do it like that. So therefore, there ain't no real interaction. And like I said, the only other thing that's gonna happen in the near future is I got outside work to do. But again, I don't know. That's one of them things like you'll never really know. But the universe is gonna keep this stuff coming because they want it to stay in your consciousness for whatever reason. And as far as the big ugly dude, I already talked about that in the gorilla video. So again, it is what it is. Now, as far as things escalating with him, most likely it is. I already told y'all. Same thing with 50 Cent. When Sway said to 50 back in the day, 50, you say you're going to destroy Murder Inc. You say you're going to destroy Ja Rule. Why you got to be so cruel, 50? Why you got to destroy him? And he said, because with niggas, if you don't kill them, they just going to keep coming back. And I know that to be a fact. And that's why I said with this dude, as long as he's around, it's going to be a problem. And that's my biggest concern. It's going to be a problem as long as he's around doing what he do, standing around and got traffic blocking and all that craziness. Because like I said, I got shit. Unlike him, I don't have all day to stand outside in the street like this dude. I got shit that got to get done. I got motions I got to move. And I don't need nobody in my fucking way. And wouldn't nobody be in my fucking way if it wasn't for that asshole? So, of course, it's going to be a problem at some point. We already know that. And it's not that I want it because I tried everything for it not to be a problem. But so is life on this planet. So you got good days, you got bad days. And despite all the bullshit on this planet, and I took that from a song, all this bullshit going down. If y'all ever heard that song, it's a 1970 song. So you got to focus. But again, the key to this is growing up as an adult and realizing the power is in you. The power is not in another person. As far as my twin, if she ever wanted to talk, that has always been open for her. She has to grow the fuck up. All right. As far as this other person, this soulmate, that's just a weird situation. But a lot has changed since she came back. You understand? So it's even more weirder. It's more weirder now. Because I don't want another part 2. I don't want another Rosa part 2. With somebody lying. Because obviously if I wanted to talk to somebody, I would have done it the first time. The fact that she was like Rosa. She used to follow me just like Rosa did. I'd be in the back and she'd see me come in the back of the house and shit. She was just funny. Or if I was working in the front yard, she'd come and she was staying right like across the street. She was funny though. So I don't need nobody talking about I'm following them because that's some bullshit. Nigga, listen, I'm gorgeous. I don't need to follow no damn broad. Broads follow me, motherfucker. Let's get this shit correct, nigga. Fuck wrong with you. Now I'm just joking about that part. But everything else, I'm dead serious. So that's the video. That's the portals. I definitely told you about the portals. The portals are this. All in this area are unseen portals. And these same areas I'm talking about, if you notice, you're going to see animals in these portal areas. Also, murders take place. Also, where these portals are, a lot of drug dealers be. Always around these portals. All this shit goes on. And if you had a 24-hour camera on those portals, you would begin to see a lot of supernatural shit. But we all stay busy. We don't have time. Now, the first thing these people did when they moved in and rebuilt that house that burned down, the only house that ever burned down in this neighborhood on January 1st, what's the odds of that? The only house that ever burned down in this neighborhood on January 1st is where all these portals are, and the people that took that house over are the same people that are my twin's people. In the house she took over, her family remodeled that house. So all this shit is bigger than third dimensional. This is some shit that people don't want to touch. So now all this shit is about portals. Also, that's where the same black guy that seemed to be connected to all of this some type of way with the dogs and they all look alike and all this crazy shit. And it's a very unique dog. This is not a dog you can just go to the local store and get a dog. These dogs are very unique looking. All right. Now, when they were building that house and refixing it and everything, one day the people left and they forgot to close the door. So there was a geese. There was a geese in my neighborhood that was hanging out, and this happened more than once, because they be down there by that house, but they always come to this house. Like, they come to this house as if they're saying hello to me. This has happened more than once. Geese. I'm not lying. Now, when that door stayed open, that geese stayed right in front of that house, like right by the door, like he was protecting it, or she was protecting it. Now, I kept saying, how come I'm only seeing one geese? Because you always see more than one geese. What's going on? So on a Sunday morning, that geese brought all the husband and the children, and they all came up to my, like, the front of my house. And I knew they was leaving. And they was saying goodbye and shit. Now, it's not like I'd be out there talking to them, but this is powerful shit. But I'm going to tell you, they told you all this in the Matrix. They took him into that room. They said, what do you see? He said, I see a woman sitting in the park with birds around her. And they was like, that's not what that is. That's what you're saying, but that's not really what that is. So you can believe whatever the fuck y'all want to. But I feel sorry for motherfuckers that keep loving this life and this world more than their higher self and more than higher spirituality, because that is going to determine where you go next. And if you were really studying the teachings of Jesus Christ, that's what he told you. You're only here temporary. Don't love this world more than spiritual. You got to love your higher self. You got to love God more than all this shit he was telling you for a reason. See, they set this shit up for your ass to burn for eternity, motherfucker. And that's why throughout the Bible, all they talk about is fire all the time. Altars and fire, and his eyes burned like fire, and fire came out of fire with a sword, and fire, 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 fire. So you're given an opportunity. That's the reality of what I'm trying to tell you. But they gave it to you spiritually, because they're not just going to come out and just tell you, which they do tell you in the Bible. But they're not just going to come out and make it real, but they give it to you spiritually, and then they give you the opportunity to do what the fuck you want. And that's why you got so much freedom, just like you had in the Garden of Eden. He told them what it was about, but then he gave them the opportunity to disobey. But in the disobedience, they did die. Now listen what I'm going to tell you as I get out of here. People say, did Adam and Eve, are they going to ever live again? And some people say, yeah, because God forgave them. God is merciful. And God made clothes for them. Made a covering for them. So they're covered. No, they're not. Let me tell y'all why Adam and Eve ain't ever coming back. Well, especially, I don't think Eve coming back either, but especially Adam, because the Bible basically holds him accountable, even though he wasn't the one that did the temptation, but he was the one that was given control by God. So he was always held more in whatever. But I already told you, men got to be more careful. Now, this is how you know Adam ain't coming back. And I don't think Eve coming back either. I know Adam definitely ain't coming back. When he said the day you eat that fruit, yeah, they both ain't coming back. Because he basically said the day you eat that fruit is the day you die. Now, Adam and Eve did not live to be 1,000. The Bible says 1,000 is a day, like the day of the Lord is 1,000 years. So in other words, the day of the Lord is 1,000 years, which is Bible symbolism of an eternity. So they didn't enter eternity. Second off, when they got kicked out the garden, the cherubims was right there, the angels, high-ranking angels. And then they had that sword, which represents the word of God, which also represents the Messiah. And that sword was on fire. That fire is hell. So people can believe. This is what I'm going to try to tell y'all. You can believe what the fuck you want to, but you better make sure what you believe ain't going to have you burning in hell for eternity. That's why I'm trying to tell you. You got to see the correct how this is. Like I said, the whole twin flame thing. Okay, we can still talk. I do believe in twin souls. I do believe in twin flames, but that don't mean I'm going to let you fuck my life up. So if you can grow up enough that we can have mutual respect, we can get past anything. Because I always was in your corner. You was the asshole. I never had no beef with you. You was a nut job. Second, same thing for anybody else. Anybody that wants to have a rational form of communication, we could talk. But anybody on some other shit, of course we ain't going to talk. And plus you got to understand, I got more to lose. So you got to be careful. Because people can switch it on you like she did. She had everybody thinking I'm following her when she was following me. So you got to be careful. And you don't have to talk to everybody you see. Especially you got to know what this is going to look like. Because you're not going to have no defense, my nigga. If you knew as a melanated male on this planet, in this country, if you know how many times I was perceived guilty when I wasn't doing nothing but minding my own business. This ain't no fucking joke. That's what you gotta see. Not the silly shit. Not the idealism. Not all that other shit. You gotta see the page as it really is. Like I said, some men are weak. They think with the wrong head. So when temptation comes their way, they just jump in bed and get some quick pussy. But the bottom line is, you might have got some quick pussy, but that quick pussy might cost you eternal damnation in hell for the rest of your fucking life. Whether you believe it or not, don't matter, nigga. That's stupid. That's like somebody say it's a hitman coming to kill you. Oh, I don't believe that. Well, maybe if you did believe it, you could do something to be alive, dumbass. So you just make it easy for the hitman to kill you. You don't even believe he's coming. Nigga, right outside your... I don't believe that. He's outside your... Oh, man, stop talking that crazy talk. Next you hear pow, pow, pow. And your ass dead and shit. And I hate to tell you all that. That's how Sherry Shriner went out. Alright. So that's what's up. So the portals are all over. People are portals. Everything is a portal. But if you notice, all these people are walking down the same areas. All these people are standing in the same areas. Because what you're seeing, that's part of your reality. That's just what's called matrix reality. Matrix, quote, reality, unquote. In other words, quote, unquote means it ain't really reality. Because this is why all these people ended up in the same place. This is why so many similarities between these people. This is why they got the same looking dogs and all kind of crazy shit. That's why the soulmate that lives right up the street used to look just like the twin flame or the twin soul. And that's why I said that white girl was popping up and she was always hanging around my house. Why the fuck you hanging around my house? But she literally lives up the street where the soulmate lives, but the soulmate lives on the other side. And she lives across. Cornhouse. But all of that is done to keep all that shit in your mind. And through that is transmission and reception and uses of energy. This is Gad. I'm out.